Welcome back to Grief Inspired. My name is Catherine McNulty, and today we are talking about manifestation in grief. Everybody's talking these days about manifestation all over the internet, all over YouTube here. And as I was thinking about it and listening to some podcasts, I realized, well, we can use manifestation in the grief process. Why not? If it works in other areas of our life, why can't we use it in grief? So we absolutely can. So today we're going to talk about what manifestation is, what it isn't, and how you can potentially use it to help you on your grief journey. So here at Grief Inspired, we talk about all things that are helping you to move forward. It's about learning how to live with your loss. It's acknowledging that your loved one is gone, that your life is the way it is right now, and that you have to deal with it. Hey there, it's Catherine, and I want to interrupt this video for a quick second to encourage you to please subscribe to my channel. 60% of the people who watch my video have not yet subscribed. And if you subscribe, not only will you gain access to more videos and be notified when I release my videos, you're also going to be helping other people, because by you subscribing, it's going to push these videos to more people who are deep in grief. Now is the time for us all to move forward and learn how to live with our loss. Thanks so much in advance for subscribing. And so everything that we do here on the Grief Inspired channel is to help you move forward and to help you learn how to live with that. So today we're talking about manifestation. And it's almost like I'm wondering if I should make it the 11th grief-inspired mantra. So you may know there are 10 grief-inspired mantras. If you don't know those, I'll put a link in the video below so that you can watch the videos. There's 2 different videos, mantras 1 through 5, where I explain them, and then mantras 6 through 10, where I explain those. And the idea of the mantras is that it's something by way of a positive affirmation that you can say to yourself over and over again during the day as you're walking through your grief journey. They're designed to help you. They're designed to help you be in a place that's more positive. It's so easy on the grief journey to think about all the things that we're missing, what we're lacking. And the mantras help us shift to what we have, what we're grateful for, where we're going, what we're trying to do. And I think it's so powerful. And these mantras have really helped people. So the 11th mantra, if I were to make it an 11th mantra, it would be this: don't wish, want. So let me explain what that is. When I was watching these videos about manifestation, right? And manifestation is putting yourself in a position to get what it is you want. And it's not magic. It's not voodoo. It's not wishing. It's understanding what it is that you want, deciding that you do want it, and then putting actions in place to help you ensure that you get it. And when I say don't wish, want, that is the mantra for today, because sometimes we wish when we're grieving. We wish they weren't gone. We wish that we would feel better. We wish that we would somehow get the answers to the questions that we have. We wish that the pain would end. And sometimes in grief, we think of the phrase, time heals all wounds. You hear that all the time. And yes, while time can help with grief, it's not time that heals all wounds. It's not time that helps you through your grief. It's the actions. It's the looking at your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts. It's about learning more about yourself and your life, and doing things and learning about things that are tools and strategies that can support you. And that is everything that we do here. And the thing about don't wish, want, wishing is not helpful. Wishing puts you in a state of lack. When you say, I wish I could feel better, you're basically telling yourself that you feel terrible, which we all know you do. But you don't wish to feel better. You want to feel better. You want your grief to feel a little bit lighter. So there's no empowerment in wishing that things were different. Sometimes in grief, we get very upset because our expectations are not met. We didn't expect this to happen. We didn't expect to be grieving. We didn't expect to lose our loved one. And we get so wrapped up in the expectation that this isn't how it's supposed to be. And I get that. But that doesn't give you any power. You have to stay there and you have to say, this isn't how it was supposed to be. When I lost my son, I was supposed to have him. I was supposed to have 2 boys. I was supposed to be doing something today other than grieving him. Today is the day that he died 14 years ago. I didn't expect to be here 14 years later talking to you on a grief video. You can't wish for things because wishing doesn't do anything. It doesn't change anything. It puts you in a state of lack. I wish I wasn't so lonely. How does that help? I wish I didn't have to come home to an empty house. I wish they hadn't died so suddenly. These are all things that you can say, but saying wish puts you in a place that's not empowering. It doesn't put you in any control. It doesn't really help. I wish I could sleep. That's another one. I wish I wasn't so stuck. So manifestation, when we talk about manifestation in grief or manifestation in everything, is it's first declaring what it is that you want. I remember that day when I sat in that grief support group with the mother who was facilitating the support group, lighting a candle for her baby who had died 5 years earlier. She was weeping and crying. And I was like, I don't wish that on anyone. I was declaring that will not be me. 5 years from now, I will not be that deep in grief, that wrecked by the situation that has happened to me. That was a declaration that I made for myself. I was like, oh no, that was instantaneous. And that was like a week or 2 after I lost my son. I didn't know what that meant at the time, but I remember having that declaration in my head that I was declaring that I would find a way through my grief, and I have. So you can say that I manifested it. But manifestation is about declaring what it is that you want, getting really, really clear on what it is that you want. Do you want to feel better? Do you want to let go of the guilt? Or do you want to stay struggling? Because that's okay. But if you wish your guilt would go away, it's not going away. If you want your guilt to go away, we talk over and over again. You got to process it. You got to get through it. You got to say what you're guilty about. And then you have to forgive. You forgive yourself. You let go of the shame. You get yourself a break and say, I did the best I could with the situation that I was in, with the information and the knowledge that I had. For those of you who are caregivers, I'm going to take a little side note here. You are caregivers. You care so deeply for people, and yet you feel so guilty. Manifestation is saying, I don't want to feel guilty anymore. I want to feel better. So you say what you want. I want to let this go. I want to release my guilt. I want to remember how much I love them and how much I care, and acknowledge that that's why I feel guilty. But feeling guilty just hides me from the pain that I'm experiencing. So that was a little tangent. Manifestation is declaring what it is that you want. If you don't know what you want, you don't take action, you don't do anything. We call that avoidance. And again, there's lots of you who have done avoidance for years. People can avoid their grief for years and years and years. And there isn't anything wrong with that. You can choose to do that. But know that that is a choice. And my question for you is, do you want that to be you? If you've lost your loved one in the last year, do you want to be 5, 10, 15 years out from your loss and being in a place where you haven't really grieved, you haven't processed, you haven't healed? And if you say no to that, then the question is, what do you want? And I want you to write that down right now somewhere, even if it's just one thing. Write what you want. If you want to go a little deeper today, I want you to spend time writing down all of the things that you do want. And I'm talking about the things that can actually happen. I know the first thing we all want to write down is, I want my loved one back. That's not possible. But if you say, I want to remember them with love, that you can remember. I want to remember all of the stories. I want to remember what their voice sounded like. Okay, so what can you do to help with that? Can you pull together videos? Can you ask other people for videos of them? Can you write down the stories, the things you want to remember while they're fresh in your mind right now? Those are things that you can do to take action. So when it comes to manifesting in grief, the question is, what is it that you want? And when you decide what it is that you want, you take action. And it is the action that causes the manifestation. I want to feel better. I want to accept my loss. I want to move forward. I want to release my guilt. It's not wishing that things would change. It's taking action. You know, one of the things that is the most difficult for me, I can't help you if you don't come to me. And this is the thing that's frustrating. When I see you guys here talking about your grief, I want to help you. It's why I say email me. It's why I say come to me. It's why I say send me a message. It's why I say, come join the school.com platform. I cannot make it any less expensive to spend $40 a month to be in a place where you get to spend 8 Zoom calls with other people talking about your grief, learning about your grief, where you can get videos that teach you about your grief. $40 a month. Do you not deserve that to move you forward in your grief? Manifesting is deciding what it is that you want and then taking action. And my job here is to inspire you to take that action. Because here's the thing that I know is, if you take action, if you decide what you want, if you manifest what you want in your grief, things will shift for you. If you want to be grateful, you practice gratitude. My grief journal has 3 things that you choose to be grateful for every day. It is a choice. You're choosing to take action. You can choose to help yourself. You can choose to manifest what you want, or you cannot. You can keep wishing. Wishing doesn't do anything. Don't wish, want. That is the message that I want to leave with you today. Don't wish, want. So before we leave this video, I want you to take a piece of paper and write at the top, when it comes to my grief, I want ... And I want you to list 1 or more things, depending on where you're at, in terms of what you want. Knowing what you want is sometimes the most difficult part. But once you do know that you want, you can take action. So many people say, I'm lonely in grief. I'd love to connect with people. Great. Come to my Zooms. I wish I had somebody who understands. I want someone who understands. You got to come. You got to talk to somebody. You got to reach out. I want to have friends locally. You got to get out of the house. I want to feel better. You got to go for a walk. I want to feel better. You got to take care of yourself. You got to use some of the tools. I'll tell you what, there is a tool that I've shared with you here that's the 4-7-8 breathing technique. If you don't know it, send me an email and I will call you on the phone and I will teach you how to do it. If you want less anxiety, if you want less panic, if you want to generally be more okay with your grief, I've told you guys over and over and over again, use the 4-7-8 breathing technique at least twice a day for a month. Your life will change. If you want to feel calmer, less anxiety, less stressed, that will help. It is a very specific action. But if you come to me and you tell me I'm anxious, and I say, have you used the technique? No. Then I can't help you. You have to decide what it is that you want, and then you have to be the one to take action. Don't wish, want. That is my message for you today.